Okay, fine. So as we were already discussed about the eight cavity traveling wave magnetron, which has a cylindrical, coaxial cylindrical cathode at the center, and it is being surrounded by a total anode, and it is being said to be of an anode over here. There are totally eight cavities we have, and these eight cavities having a phase shift of 45 degrees with each other, and that gives a self-consistent condition which is to be satisfied, and that is being done. So each and every cavity have a phase shift of 45 degrees, and with that it is been fulfilling the condition that eight cavities into 45 degrees is totally 360 degrees. Okay, and this is being said to be of consistent condition which is being satisfied, and apart from that, if it is been other than 45 degrees, then there will be an inconsistent form where one of the cavity should be of shifted its phase by some other value. Okay, so which does not give does not satisfy the self consistent value, and this is a standard form. So if we take a 30 degrees also, so 30 degrees phase shift, we need to maintain a 12 cavities. Okay, instead of 8, we have to maintain 12 cavities. Then that gives 360 degrees, a complete view of the total phase shift of 360 degrees. If it is being taken as 12 cavities, but it has been found that it is a not standard form, and whatever the output power and the efficiency which is being obtained will not be of that much satisfactory. So that a standard mode of operation, that is on a pi mode of operation with 8 cavities, is being considered as a final one. Okay, so that it has been very good to have cavities of 8 as an total. Okay, so these are all called as an anode cavities. Now, whatever the oscillations which is being provided within the interaction gap. So this is the interaction space or gap. So these oscillations, whatever it is being provided, so that is being taken from one of the cavities. So out of these 8 cavities, any one of the cavity can be used as an output. Okay, so that is how the it is being taken by the coaxial probe as has been shown over here. Okay, so that's what we have discussed. Then later on we have discussed that there are different types of modes of operation. So this is the relative phase change, that is phi v, and that is being given by the expression 2 pi n by n, and n takes all these particular values. And if we substitute n is equal to pi by 2, then if we where n by 2 is being taken, then n and n 2 gets cancelled, then it remains with only pi. And this mode of operation is said to be a pi mode of operation. Okay, and another point to calculate, as if we take n equal to 0, then whenever we substitute n equal to 0, then totally the term will be 0. Then such mode of operation can be called as zero mode of operation. Then the magnetron is said to be operated with zero mode. So most of the cases, it is being considered to operate the magnetron in pi mode. Okay, so that's what it is being done. Next, we'll move on to the working functionality which we have seen here, where it is being 8 cavities is being represented over here, and it is being seen that the first one, the electron A, that is here the different conditions it is being approximated. Whenever we take the magnetic field is being totally equal to 0. Okay, the magnetic field is being totally equal to 0. Then there is no influence on the path of the electron. So straight away it moves towards the anode, from cathode to anode. So this is the path followed by the electron in the absence of magnetic field. In second case, if we take the trajectory path of B, so it is being little bit curved one. Now the magnetic field which is being assumed as it is being a little bit more. So this particular second case considered that somewhat it has been just now started to increase the magnetic field, but that magnetic field will be less than the critical field. Okay, I'll be giving out what is this critical field, so which we have discussed in previous class. Whatever the magnetic field which is being applied, if and that is been less than the critical field, that makes the electron to move from cathode to anode. This is the cathode to anode with some little bit curved shape. Okay, so this is the path followed by the electron B. And we have another case if the magnetic field is almost equal to the critical field. When it's said to be critical field, when the electron just starts its journey from cathode and just grazes its surface to the surface of the anode cavity and returning back to the cathode. And this particular path C, which is being represented, so that shows that the magnetic field at this particular moment is said to be of critical magnetic field. Okay, so this is the critical magnetic field. The electron C will be grazing the surface and returning back to the cathode. Okay. Then, if we increase the magnetic field greater than the critical field, okay, the last condition, then that trajectory path, we can say that this is the path followed by the electron D, where the magnetic field is being very much greater than the critical field. Then there is no scope for these electrons to move towards the anode. Then there will not be any current over there. There is no anode current. So that it will be keep on fluctuating or moving on the surface of the cathode. Okay, it will be keep on moving on the surface of the cathode. So these are the different trajectories of the electrons. They move from cathode to anode. So this is what it is being done. And you can observe that this is the RF field. It is in the absence of RF field. Whatever I have explained till now, I have not at all considered the term RF field till now. Okay. So whatever the explanation I have given till now, it is in the absence of RF field. Now I'm going to check what will be the trajectory paths and how the oscillations are provided by the electrons in the presence of RF field. So that's what I'm going to explain now. Okay. So let me check out one more diagram where it gives the particular functionality of the magnetron in the presence of RF field. So that's what I'm going to explain here. This particular case in the magnetron, where I'm taking the half of the part, where it is being taken as a half of the part. Where if we consider one of the cavity here, one more cavity, the second cavity, third cavity, fourth cavity, and fifth cavity. So this is the different types of cavities I'm considering. Totally it will be 8, but to make it easy, just I'm taking only half of the part, which has the 5 cavities as it now. Okay, so 5 cavities it has. With this 5 cavity, where it provides the RF field, which is being given by the dotted lines. The RF field, it is being present in the cavities over here. So this is the RF field which is being given. So with this RF field, where, as I told that at the center, we have an electron, that is in a cathode. We have a cathode. Okay. Strength is being getting down. Okay. So this is the cathode we have. With this cathode, in the presence of the field now, where let me explain what are the fields. We, as I told that there is a magnetic field and electric field which is been operating on it. Okay, so for that, the field which is being operating on it, it is being given as the field is being given as the electric field is being taken. So this is the path I am considering for the electric field. This is the electric field path direction. So this is the direction of electric field. Okay. We have to draw the field directions over here. This is the electric field direction. Okay, so this is the electric field we have, and this is the cathode obviously. Now, in presence of RF field, how it is going to vary? Let me explain now. As it is being taken, the first electron. Let me take an electron over here. So this particular electron, it starts its journey over here. Then first, initially, it starts towards the point here. I'm taking better to take enough black pen where it will be of easier. So this is the path followed here. The electron will be moving like this. Whenever the electron is being moving in presence of RF field and the magnetic field and the electric field. So these are the electric field lines. Due to the presence of RF field, what happens? The electron A. This is an electron A, which is spend a more amount of time within the interaction gap. This is the interaction space. As it travels here, the magnetic field will be influence on it. Then because of which the trajectory path of the electron will be keep on moving over here, thereby passing through the electric field. Okay. As it passing through the electric field, let this be point 1 over here. During this, what happens? It generates the oscillations. Okay, it provides the oscillations. It gives out the oscillations whenever the electron A is being influenced by the electric field which is being present at this particular moment. Okay, so due to which after that, when it comes to the next electric field, so this is the path followed is one of 2. Okay, when it reaches to the point 2 over here, once again the electron A starts giving out the oscillations. Such number of A electrons will keep on giving the oscillations to the through the interaction gap. So as whenever it is being influencing, at whatever be the instant, these electrons influenced by the electric field, they starts giving up the energy or the oscillations. So this path is being continuously taken out, and finally it reaches to the anode A over here. So this, see how the path is being affected over here. 1, 2, 3, and these how when it is being keep on passing through the electric field, it starts giving the oscillations. Thereby oscillations are generated. Okay, so this is the trajectory path of electron A. Such an electron A, the number of such A electrons will be passing through this trajectory path. In such path will be influenced. So such number of A electron will be passing like this, and all such will be taking place. Such number of A electrons will be keep on moving through the field, thereby giving the oscillations. So after that, we too have another mode of generation of the electrons. So if we take another electron, another category of electron where you can observe this particular electron. So let this be B electrons. Okay, so this B electrons, what happens? It is being not at all, you can observe that it is being not at all influenced by the electric field over here. So thereby, without influence the electric field, it has been returning back to the cathode. And this process will be keep on continuing, thereby all the electrons, such B number of electrons, and under the category of B electrons will be keep on rotating along with the cathode. So a cloud type structure is being formed due to such type of electrons, as these are not called as these are unfavorable electrons. So where which generates or which gives the oscillations are said to be favored electrons. These are said to be favored electrons, and B category electrons are said to be unfavored electrons. Then after that, we too have another category that is being C and D. So this C and D, whatever it is being taken out, so these two electrons, so this C electron and D electron will be definitely it is being somewhere other how within influenced by the electric field to a smaller level. Okay, so as the electrons A will be influenced by the different electric fields, But rather than that, C and D is be not that much influenced by the electric field. Within a shorter movement, the electric field will be influenced on electrons C and D. So thereby, these electrons will combine with electron A for giving out the oscillations. So this is how the electrons C and D influencing a small quantity of the electric field over here, thereby giving out the oscillations. So you can observe that the electron A, B, A, C, and D, they provide the oscillations, and they are said to be favored electrons. These three are said to be favored electrons, and whereas the electron B will not at all influenced by the any electric field. So no oscillations will be provided by such electrons said to be unfavored electrons. Okay, so this is how the main responsible of the magnetron, which provide the oscillations or which generate the oscillations, hence will be acting as oscillator. So magnetron, this is how is said to be used as oscillator. Thereby, this is the generations which is been the oscillations will be generated, and that will be taken out from any one of the cavity. Out of 8 cavities, so from one of the cavity, these oscillations will be taken out. Then it will be used as oscillator. So this is the main functionality how the oscillations are provided. Okay. Now, as I've said, there's another category within a small diagram I'm going to work out. With this, we can easily say that here the magnetron will be having a cloud-like structure. As I've said that a cloud-like structure will be formed around the cathode, which is heating the cathode. Because of this, the temperature across or around this cathode will be gradually increasing. So the back heating will be taking place. That becomes a disadvantage of this magnetron. So as much as possible, we have to avoid this back heating. And for that, the representation of the B category electrons, how it is being taking place, I'm going to draw with one more diagram. And because of A, C, D, a electron clouds, a group of electrons will be formed over here. And I'm going to draw the clouds of electrons, how it is being formed due to the favored electrons and unfavored electrons. Okay, so not to confuse, and it's been very easy. The trajectory paths we need to draw over that. Now coming to the cloud representation of this particular magnetron, which is being given within a cloud representation, where you can easily see that this is the cathode we have at the center. So this is the cathode, and where we have 8 cavities. So 8 cavities it is being taken out. I'm drawing those 8 cavities over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let me consider those 8 cavities. So these are the 8 cavities which we have approximated. So these are the 8 cavities. With the help of this, now I'm going to draw in a diagram which provides the cloud representations, which will be in the clockwise direction. So these cavity, we can take this as an cavities representation like this, and due to this, one will be acting. See, due to the favored electrons, a cloud representation, all the bunch of electrons which is being formed over here to give up the oscillations. So for every alternative case, one will be acting as a positive and a negative. Where under positive and negative, this is positive and negative, positive and negative. So because of this operation of the cavities over here, so for every alternative case, for every one alternative, the clouds, it is been resulting over here. So this is a cloud wave representation. I'll be clearing out what is this cloud representation and how it is being formed. See, this is how for every alternative cavity, a cloud representation it is being considered. And as I've said, this is nothing but than a cathode, which use of the electrons. Now, as the with favored electrons, where B is unfavored electron over here, and remaining A, C, and D are favored electrons. Because of these three electrons, they are moving towards the anode. From cathode to anode, they will be moving out, due to which the formation of a cloud-like structure, a group of electron bunch-like structure will be formed, that is being represented with this structure. So this is the cloud-like structure is being formed due to the favored electrons of A, C, and D. And whatever be the electrons which are being not at all moving into towards the anode, thereby keep on rotating along the cathode, that is being considered as unfavored electrons, is been nowhere responsible to generate the oscillations. So they will be forming as this is the cloud structure here are around the cathode. So those are said to be B category electrons which are moving out around the cathode. So this is the reason the formation of the cloud-like structure of the magnetron. So such type of formation of cloud representation is being called as phase focusing effect. Phase focusing effect. Okay. So these are the general terms which will be making use while describing that, while writing the explanation during the examination. Please, you have to make use of some technical terms to represent this. Okay. So this is all about the magnetron in presence of RF field, and due to which the different types of electrons will be categorized, which are providing the oscillations and which do not provide the oscillations, and thereby, and the cloud representation of the diagram is also shown over here. So this is all the explanation of the magnetron in the presence of RF field and in the absence of RF field. Okay. Any doubt regarding this? Have you followed it? Is that clear? Anyhow, I'll be sharing the material after the completion of this unit. And the last topic, this has been of 1 page or 2 pages small derivation we have. So by that derivation, we'll be finishing off this 4th unit. Okay. Okay, now I'll be taking to the derivation, which is being also important. There are 3 important points or important topics in the 4th unit. One is that is a traveling wave tube, and the other is of magnetron, just I have said, which we have covered in the previous class and today. And they may ask any one of the topic here, and the magnetron, we need to draw this diagrams clearly and you need to explain. So better to make use of red color, black color, and blue color pens, so that it will be of attractive while explaining the things and easily categorized. Okay. And later on, we have an amplification process of the magnetron, where it has been somewhat big derivation or 1 or 2 pages derivation. So you can also go through it easily. It's been very easy. Now I have a material. Based upon that material, I'm going to explain that the amplification process, where it takes time to write that entire derivation. And so directly whatever in the material it has been available, with the help of that material, I'm going to explain directly with the steps. Okay. For that, as I have told, I'm considering in a diagram over here. So this is the magnetron, whatever we have. So I'll be showing the diagram of the magnetron practically, how the structure it will be. So there are different textbooks will show the different diagrams. You can see here. So this is the 8 cavities. This is the 8 cavities diagram we have. So it is been also represented like this. Okay. So there are different cases we have. Based upon that, you can draw that. So whatever the diagrams I have drawn, it is been just for I have drawn. It is for just reference. How the actual magnetron it will be there. Okay. And now, so considering the magnetron over here, where it is a cylindrical structure, the center one is enough. As I said, it's enough cathode, and remaining all the anode cavities. Okay, so this is the anode, and this is the center one is enough cathode. Okay, and it has both electric field and magnetic field. Where it is being taken as the electric field and magnetic field is being taken like this. So magnetic field B is being considered like this, and the electric field we can consider like this. So both are transverse to each other. So this is all about the representation of this is been of cathode, as I have said, and this is the anode. This is totally the cylindrical structure, whatever it has been approximated. And to discuss the amplification process, as we have the expression we need to consider. So no need to go for deriving this particular expression, as we need to take as it is based upon the distance traveled by the electron paths, which is being given by d square r by dt square minus r into d phi by dt whole square, which is equal to E by m er minus E by m r pz d phi by dt. So we need to remember this particular expression. So in order to derive the expression of amplification process, whatever it is being going to take. Okay. So this is all it is being taken from from the motion of electrons, which is being considered to be of a cylindrical structure. So this is the expression we need to remember. Now it has been very simple that we have to let this be equation 1. So similarly, we need to get it in a more simplified manner as 1 by r. It can be written as d by dt. It is r square d phi by dt, which is being equal to E by m bz. I am writing in a simplified manner. Where I have taken this as a common, I am simplified it and I have writing in a standard form over here, and this will be equation 2. So the rest of the derivation I will be explaining by using the material whatever I have. So don't worry, not to worry that it is been very easy. I will be sharing that the way I have written it is been somewhat there are smaller in letters. So to what extent it can be done, you can analyze this. So this is the material whatever it is being available. So these are the two equations just now I have written. And where E by m, it gives the value of this, where and B naught is the magnetic field which is being considered along the z direction. So where the equation 2 is being arranged here. So whatever it is being then, this is being rearranged here. So d by dt is being taken out. So this r square is written. This r is being taken to the RHS. Okay. So this r term is being taken over here and is being written over here. This r is being written. Okay. And this particular term E by m bz is being taken as an omega c. It is an angular frequency E by m bz. Okay. So that it is being replaced by bcr dr by dt. Okay. So the meeting is going to end up within 4 minutes only, 4 to 5 minutes. No need to join back. So if it has been get disconnected, so already the same derivation I'll be posting you in the material. I'll be passing it to you, and please go through this. Okay. So by just go through this derivation, you can easily understand the topic, whatever it is been. Total is a mathematical expression only. Okay. It's all mathematical expression. No need to worry. So no conceptual points it's been given here, and have given clearly the word statements also. Okay. And here the term d by dt r square is being taken as the differentiation of this being taken as 2r dr by dt. And this 1 by 2 have taken over here. So whenever I have take this 2 here, I have taken this 2, it can be taken over here. Then the left out term will be equal to r dr by dt 1 by 2 dr square dt square. Okay. So substituting this particular term in the above equation, we'll get the equation 3 here. Okay. And where we have to integrate the equation over here. Then after integrating this particular term, we d by dt will be of winding up. Then r square d phi by dt is been left out. And after integrating, we get some constant value. So we need to calculate this constant value and we need to substitute over here. Okay. So once there are two radius where we are taking r is equal to a is the radius here, the radius a. Here it is being taken as the radius of the cathode is being taken as a and the radius of anode is being taken as b. So once we need to consider the a radius and another term we need to consider the b radius, and thereby simplifying we'll get the final expression. So that's what it's been taken. So the radius a is being taken over here and substituted in the place of r, we need to substitute a here and we'll get a square. Then we'll get some constant value. Then constant this, if we take to left side, then the constant value is being given. Substitute in equation 4. Okay. Then we need to take the b radius. Okay. So for that we need to that after some simplifying that we'll get after substituting the constant value here. So the constant value is being substituted and the common term which is being taken out, the left out term will be equation 5. After simplifying, we get an equation 5 over here. And we also know that under equilibrium condition, we have of mv square is equal to ev, then it's in our standard form. After simplifying this, equating that, substituting the standard condition, we'll get as equation 7. Okay. So now, considering the anode radius over here, r is equal to b. The same, substituting the same as r equal to b in the equation 5. So where we have taken a square by r square, we need to take b square here. Now radius of anode will be considered, it will be b square. So then after that, we need to substitute here, then keep on simplifying by taking the terms over here. Then it's been of cross multiply with this. Then we have the value here which is being substituted over here, d phi by dt, which we have in our earlier expression. So d phi by dt which we have, so this is d phi by dt. So this equation 5 of d phi by dt is being substituted over here. You can see here. So in the equation 5 we'll be substituting here. So that is being d phi by dt value is being substituted, that is equation 10. So keep on taking the multiply of this particular term. We'll be simplifying that. And the final value of amplification will be obtained over here. After simplification, we'll get the equation, whatever we have got, the magnetic field. So BOC. So the magnetic field, which is the final expression, is being given as 8 V naught M by E by B into 1 minus A square by B square. So this is being called as Hull cutoff magnetic equation. Okay. So this is the final expression and the same final potential is being represented by this expression. So it has been not much difficult, so I have not taken much